What's up, everybody? Nostalgia Goggles 4-3 here. Sorry I'm running a little bit late. Had to deal with some more child care type issues, but now my daughter's in bed and we can start the doubleheader. Once I got my controller. Hope you're all doing well. Come on. There we go. Draw what button to press. Sorry, I've only played this game a few times before. So tonight, nobody's going to 100. Regular old run-of-the-mill National Basketball Association game. We're going to start our best performing lineup so far this season. Eric Murdoch, Hubert Davis, Dale Ellis, Oliver Miller, a powerful forward, and Sharon Wright. We'll lead off with them, see how they do. Let's do this. What's up, Spencer Greatest? Thanks for tuning in. Before we get all the way started, 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. They're doing great things trying to cure blindness, so please support them if you feel so inclined. There's a direct link in Twitch profile or YouTube description. Now, we've beaten the Bulls the other 3 times we faced them this season, and actually, the real-life 95-96 Bulls only lost 10 games, finished 72-10, which was, at the time, an NBA record. And one of their 10 losses was this game. March 24th, 1996, the Raptors beat them by 1 point in real life. We'll see if we can do a little better. I bet that home crowd in Toronto must have gone nuts. Huh. You've expanded your tracking of stats in NFL 2K5. Now you're recording your game stats. It's a heavy lift. My goal should be to recreate history exactly. You think you want to try to win by 1 point? Is that what we're doing here? Exactly 109 to 108? Or just win by 1? Just win by 1. All right. We will. Let's not get too crazy. Where are we going here? Ellis. Oh, no. That's right. Scottie Pippen is leading the league in steals by a very wide margin. So that was a dangerous pass to make. Nope. All right. There we go. Ellis 3. Kicking things off. Nope. Well, if we only want to win by 1, this seems like a good lineup to do it with. Ah. on the line. There we go. So how's your weekend? Spit's the greatest. Some exciting travel in. All sorts of new and exotic places. There we go. Speaking of stats, we know this game has spotty record keeping. It's true. We have learned that over the months. Similar issue in 2K5. Time of possession gets all whacked out. The other day it told me that the two teams combined for 32 minutes of time possession when there are only 24 in a game. Yep, that is weird. I'm winning by 1. And also 12 more. If the Bulls are super incompetent, it might not be possible to recreate history. So what I'm trying to do is build up kind of a comfortable lead and then just stop trying. So I was trying to think. I think the AI is probably good for about 4 points per minute if left to their own devices. You don't want to see me go on a 4-minute cold streak. Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, I would have to, at minimum, find a worse lineup to do, but regardless, I would have to play somewhat suboptimally to only win by 1. Yeah, I think organic is going to be our route. Rodman for the rebound. Hoping the Bulls can put up more than 4 points. And they probably will. I did notice. Yeah, the Bulls are really off in this. I've noticed, like, we've had a much easier time against them than against a lot of other teams that in real life were not nearly as good as they. I did see when I was running the numbers for which game? The Hornets game from Wednesday. We actually had one lineup that was a plus 20 because they scored 20 points. The Hornets, we held the Hornets to no points for like a 4-minute stretch, which I didn't really even notice when it was happening. Steve Kerr. Yeah, the last 4-ish minutes of the third quarter, Hornets were scoreless. The crazy part is that's not even the best plus minus we've put up. It's just the best one scoreless. And actually, I think what's happening right now, how they've just gone on a 6-0 run, is pretty, well, 6-3 now, is pretty indicative of the problem. Is that Ron Harper was not the offensive force of this team, but he is the starting point guard. And as we've all observed, the AI seems to live and die offensively with the point guards. So ever since they put Steve Kerr in at the point, they've been much stronger. But now Harper's back in. So I don't know if that trend will continue. Speaking of Harper. I started him because that was the way it worked in real life for this team. How was that a charge? My feet were set. I mean, I was in the air, but, I hadn't been moving around. No, I think that's actually still a charge. I think if you knock someone over who's jumping, as long as they're jumping straight up in the air. Yeah, see, so Steve Kerr was dribbling in and then getting good shots, and Ron Harper's dribbling in and turning the ball over. And then we throw a bad pass, and Judd Bushler takes it in. Was I on the line again? Or did they just forget to say 3? And then they have Jordan doing some very un-Jordan-like things. In the first game, he tried to take over, but he just kept dribbling. Like, that happened every possession. No, I thought that they might have animated Rodman's hair color, but that must have been a later game in the series that I was remembering. Maybe that was 97 when they started doing that, where it was just like a random RGB value each game. But I'm pretty sure it was white every other time we played them. Of course, number 10 on the Bulls, Dennis Rodman, United States ambassador to North Korea. There we go. I mean, honestly, I'm tempted to leave this lineup in and go for 200. At this rate. Oliver Miller. Oh. I don't think we'll make it, though. That was when they were fresh. Then again, I guess my foot was on the line twice. So we're only 1 3-point shot away at that point. What do you think? Keep this lineup in? Go for 200? Or change it up? Change it up? All right. That's still pretty good. What was the score? Missed that. Yeah, these guys are exhausted. 18 to 45. So next lineup. Got Muggsy Bogues. Fully recovered from his injury, I'm happy to say. Pressford. Ellis will stay. Put in Pinckney. And Wright will stay. Ellis isn't even tired. 43 points like it's nothing. And Kukoc just wanted it more. He's not a man, he's iron. He's like butter, baby. Smooth stroke. Jordan, the question is, was Jordan in NBA Jam? The answer is not really. So there were 3 NBA players in this era who opted out of license agreements with the league. Jordan was the first. He had signed a deal with EA, actually. He was in a PC game called Michael Jordan in Flight. He had that that SNES platformer. He was also in Jordan versus Bird. So it's a little surprising that they wouldn't license him for NBA Live, since that was made by EA as well. But whatever. And so at the time that NBA Jam came out in the arcades, Jordan was the only one who was not included in the license agreement. So he was never in it. In the arcades, Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal were both part of the regular NBA Players Agreement. They both opted out. Shaq signed with EA before that, which brought the glorious fighting masterpiece Shaq Fu to the world. But Shaq also, that's why he's in NBA Live. And then Barkley was in the first release of the home version, but then they lost his license to produce. He signed with the Clade to make Clade. I think it was the Clade to make Barkley Shut Up and Jam. So, but then you may be wondering, why did I say sort of? I guess Jordan was a fan of the game, as was Gary Payton, who was a rookie, I think, when they made it. That might have been his first season, or for whatever reason, he wasn't included in the game. So Midway made 1 copy of the arcade, or 2 copies of the arcade cabinet, and gave 1 to Jordan and 1 to Payton. That included a 28th team that was Jordan and Payton. I don't know if that ROM got dumped anywhere. Might be available in MAME, but so only in a limited edition. And they also weren't really real stats. I think they just gave everybody max stats. Jordan is not officially in this game either. He was hidden in the create a player area because of the licensing. Neither was Barkley. But again, Shaq was in this game because his agreement with EA let him be in the NBA Live games, but he wasn't in any of the other basketball sims of the era. Yeah, this lineup's not very good. Do you want to let him try to catch up, or should we sit these guys, try somebody different? All right. In hindsight, it's crazy that the biggest player ever isn't in any of the official games. It's true. He did start licensing after his second retirement. The first NBA Live that had Jordan was NBA Live 2000, which was between when he retired the second time and when he came back the second time. And then during his season with the Wizards, he appeared in most of the games as part of the regular NBA agreement. But yeah, in the 90s, he was definitely his own entity. Although I did have Jordan versus Bird as a kid. I have very fond memories of that game. That either it hasn't aged well, or I was just less discerning back then. Probably a bit of both. Oh, come on. He was not over the line. Take it, Muggs. Pinkney! Throwing down. Imagine NBA 2K20 not having a guy like LeBron in it. There would be an outcry. Yeah. Yeah, and most of the other games, and particularly after this one, because there was, I don't know if there was actually a legal issue for Jordan being in it. Maybe blasted for holding out. I mean, I think he was criticized for holding out at the time. But most of the games had a player named Roster Guard who had like a different number and didn't look like Jordan, but was really good at everything. So that was the workaround. Everybody knew. Yeah, they've actually taken more shots than we have and made a lot fewer. Good feed. Nice playmaking by Chicago there. Nope. Push him out. Nice. All right, Muggsy, you take that. That's not even Muggsy. It's Sean Rustberg. There's no spacing there. Yeah, I did notice this year was talking about licenses and big names. This was the first year that MLB The Show got the Minor League Players Association license. So previously they were only allowed to have players on the minor league teams who had actually played at least one game in Major League Baseball in their career. And I have wondered if they just got sick of fielding the Tim Tebow question. Jordan. Nope. $73 points at the half. Dale Ellis. Steve Kerr, 8 points at the half. Who is the only player ever to have 5 consecutive seasons with at least 1,000 assists? Pretty sure. Well, I'm going to go with John Stockton. Pretty sure it's John Stockton. But we'll move on. You're getting cookies. All right, well, I'll say thank you. Spits the greatest as you go. Also, Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist, Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, thank you so much for your support. And 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. They're doing good stuff. You've heard me talk about them a lot. Check them out. 8156. Put in another lineup here. Go with Murdoch, Davis. Try Tracy Murray. The second half. Jones. And Miller. All right. So I guess, well, wait for Spit's greatest. Might as well do some lineup math. Going to do that later anyway. So 45 to... Oh, you're here. All right. Never mind. We'll get the show back on the road. I'll do that between games. But trying to do the PM in real time, at least for tonight, because how these lineups perform will affect if I use them again in the second game. Jordan gets the bounce. Jordan gets whistled for the charge. Something that almost never happened. Murray's hot. Off the bench. Luke Longley, not so much. Tracy Murray has scored 9 points in the first 50 seconds of this contest, this half. Whoa, Ron Harper. Oof. Oh man, he's getting booed by the home crowd. So how many cookies have you eaten in the last 24 hours? What's the greatest? Wow, Jordan. What just happened there? Boy, I almost feel bad about that one. Yeah, that's weird. Don't know what to do with that. Steve Kerr. Get out of my way, Hubert Davis. As for cookies, somewhere around 8. Huh? Better than 12. You don't feel great, but it's worth the pain. There you go. Nope. Get that back. Steve Kerr wanted it more. May I actually post it to your blog? There you go. Have you had any good chocolate milk recently? Did something different this time. Well, 4 fewer cookies for one thing. Oh no, I did not see your second review. I'll have to go back and check it out. Nicely done, Murdoch. Batch of cookies used mini morsels. Wasn't intentional, but you think it improved the cookies. There you go. You know, we all have to make sacrifices in these uncertain times, but it's the greatest. A little late for a timeout, Phil Jackson. Our bench is just super chill over there. Look at them next time we get up there. They're just like, whatever. Game's over. Also done something different with the portion size. He's much smaller than usual. It really helped. I agree. As long as they don't get so small that they dry out when you're baking them. I do like the smaller cookies. You know what? Actually, my favorite chocolate chip cookies are, and hear me out. I actually like having canned pumpkin in the recipe. Oh, Pippin. Dang. Yeah, pumpkin chocolate chip cookies are very good. I'm not normally a big gourd guy either. Yeah, canned pumpkin. You mix them into the batter. I can get you the full recipe offline. You're not going to judge me. Tell you what, once this quarantine's over, we'll celebrate. We'll come over, we'll make some pumpkin chocolate chip cookies, plus some burned dairy chocolate milk. You can tell I gave up chocolate for Lent. It does sound nice, doesn't it? The best part of my day today was when I found out that they're going to start using that malaria drug more widely. I know that it's been a small sample, but the drug has been around for a while, and the results have just been so good. It would be really nice if we could get people to stop dying. And ventilators are awful. They're just worse than the alternative a lot of the time. So all in all, it seems like a win. Hopefully by this time next month, I'll be an NBA champion, and ventilators are worse than death. Yeah, that's a hot take, huh? Honestly, I think sometimes, yeah. One of the things I've been meaning to do, and I keep forgetting to do it before I stream, is I wanted to read an excerpt from one of my favorite nonfiction books. It's called How We Die, written by a Yale surgeon talking about like physiologically what happens at the point of death, and he intersperses his philosophy in there too. It's a very, very good read. I highly recommend it. But yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll remember to bring it down. But it's complicated. Like ventilators, not for this situation. I mean, like for something like this where it's a virus, you just need to keep your lungs working until your body clears the virus. Like, that's different. But the way ventilators are used, I'm of the opinion that there are times that you're not really, I don't know. Hard to explain without just sounding like a jerk. But like my instructions have been, if I am ever in a point where I'm going to be on a ventilator for more than 3 days, take me off. Because even if I live, the outcomes are just so unpleasant after it. Again, obviously, I'm not talking about coronavirus. If you can't independently eat chocolate chip cookies, you don't want to go on. Exactly. I don't know. Like heart attacks aren't enjoyable for anyone, obviously. But if I have to choose between going from a heart attack and going from congestive heart failure, I'll take a heart attack. Thank you. That one's for you, Spitz the Greatest. Patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Thank you for your support. John Stockton. Yeah. Huge substitution by the Bulls. Right, so we will go. Haven't played Stoudemire yet. Rustbert. Murray. Miller and Davis. Yeah, I mean, it depends on which doctors you're reading, right? I'm choosing to be optimistic about it. And if it doesn't help people, I'll be disappointed. Yeah, so I didn't read the French study in detail. I was looking more at the evidence from the places in the U.S. where they've been using it. Like one in New York, one in Seattle, where they have been getting very positive results with more than 45 people. But I mean, I don't. I'm not a doctor. I do know Tracy Murray might score 100 points in one half. The rate he's going. Not shooting like that, though. Westbrook for 3. Ain't that the truth? There's a lesson to be learned here about how much we as humans can control and what is realistic to expect. Indeed. I mean, I think that's a lot of this, right? And that was actually the part of the book I was going to read where he talks about how he thinks, man, it's like Murray heard me. I just myself. He thinks that we are obsessed with that we treat death like it is a disease to be cured instead of a part of life. And, that's not to say that, we don't try to save people, we don't try to improve things. So that's funny that's your read on it, that, we're just desperate for something because we're 2 weeks into a lockdown. I actually think the lockdown itself is evidence of what we think we can control. More of the hubris. Nope. Back on point, these Bulls are really bad. It's true. I don't really even understand why they're so bad. You know who's not so bad, though, is Tracy Murray. Not too bad at all. There you go, Damon. Get that. I should have stayed where I was. There it is. Finally got it to fall. Yeah, I didn't see why they'd call timeout after that. That was embarrassing for them. Wow. Oof. Joe Bushler will not go down without a fight. Bill Wennington, Canadian player, one of 2 in the league at the time this game came out. He's had better shots. 154 to 62. Yeah, so they only scored 8 points in the first half of that quarter. Now, this isn't the lineup I was going to put in, but I'm going to give Muggsy another shot to get on the board here for my other patrons. Westbrook stays. Murray, Miller, and Ron Wright. So what's interesting is usually when Murray runs out of steam, it's very obvious. Like his 3-point percentage is certainly dipped, but he's not just like throwing up air ball after air ball. There we go. He's even hitting them deep. How about if we win by 101? He'll take it. 4 fouls on Jordan. He might foul out. Take it in, Muggsy. Oh, Sharon. Five on Jordan. There you go, Muggsy. Good fake out. Nice, Muggs. There you go, Muggsy. Another chance. All right. Sorry, other patrons. You're getting T. Murray threes. Oh, maybe. Come on, Muggsy. He keeps coming away with the ball. Wait, you're going to call that a shooting foul? That's ridiculous. Makeup call. Yeah, and makeup free throw shot, too, I guess. Nope. And we're coming apart at the end. Maybe they'll go on a 98-0 run to close out the game. Win by 2. Oh, come on. And when the game's on the line, go to Dennis Rodman. Well, the first time it was on me. I didn't press the pass button fast enough. But that time, I mean, they started the animation and everything. All right. Close enough. That basket purchased for us by Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Thank you, Mr. Troy, for your support. Ugh. Rosberg, no. We've only made one shot in the last 2.5 minutes. Just taking it in. Make sure we can get one in for Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Thank you for your support. Now, see, shouldn't that have been Jordan's 6th foul? And there it is. And a quarter that wasn't our best. 166-70. 96-point victory. Whew. Tracy Murray, 74 points. That was something else that our Patriots did 50 plus with 2 people. I'm pretty sure we have achieved that before, but if not, we definitely did it tonight. Defensive number is something else, as usual. Murray had 74, Ellis had 73. Very similar. Murray shot better from the field, though. And better from 3. He did run out of gas a little bit there at the end. Should have switched to 2-point shots with him sooner. 7 steals for Oliver Miller. Not too shabby. And check out the other side. Looks like Jordan led them with 16. Kerr had an off night. Michael Jordan 0 for 7 3-point shots. Rodman led the game in rebounding, no surprise there. So first quarter, pretty well. Cold second quarter, a credible third quarter, and then pretty anemic in the fourth. We were all over the place. Oh for 5, Muggsy Bogues. Not the best evening for him. Look at that. Shot very similar to the team at large. We will save that. Get ready for the next game. As you can see, game 68 against the Hawks. So I'll sign off for those of you watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching. You can check out the next video. And for those of you on Twitch, just stick around. We're going to check I'm going to run the numbers real quick. And then we'll get the lineups for the next game.